welcome to Storytime with me, Reverend Matt. Thanks for joining me this week. I'd like for the first thing we do together to be the singing bowl today. It's a way for us to come together, to quiet our minds and our bodies, so that we can listen to the story together. So, here's the singing bowl, and I'm sure you remember the singing bowl likes to be the only thing that makes noise. And so I need you to sit still and quiet with me. I like to sit crisscross applesauce with my hands in my lap and my bubble in so that we can listen to the singing bowl together. Let's listen. Great, well done. Now before we get to our story, let's take a moment to look at the pictures that you all sent me this week. Let's watch. Here's Luke's drawing of a cheetah driving a crane. Well done. And here's Doug's drawing of a chimpanzee driving a crane. Looks awesome. Those were some excellent drawings, and thank you so much to everybody who sent one in. And remember, if you forgot, that's okay. You can still send it to me. Have your grown-ups send me your picture. My email address is in the description of this video, and I look forward to seeing your drawings next week. Now let's read our story together. This story is one of my favorites. It's called What Do You Do with an Idea? And it's written by Kobi Yamada and illustrated by May Besum. And this is a fantastic book, and I'm really excited to share it with you. So let's read the story together. What Do You Do with an Idea? Written by Kobi Yamada and illustrated by May Besum. One day, I had an idea. Where did it come from? Why is it here? I wondered. What do you do with an idea? At first, I didn't think much of it. It seemed kind of strange and fragile. I didn't know what to do with it. So I just walked away from it. I acted like it didn't belong to me. But it followed me. I worried what others would think. What would people say about my idea? I kept it to myself. I hid it away and didn't talk about it. I tried to act like everything was the same as it was before my idea showed up. But there was something magical about my idea. I had to admit, I felt better and happier when it was around. It wanted food, it wanted to play. Actually, it wanted a lot of attention. It grew bigger, and we became friends. I showed it to other people, even though I was afraid of what they would say. I was afraid that if people saw it, they would laugh at it. I was afraid they would think it was silly. And many of them did. They said it was no good. They said it was too weird. They said it was a waste of time and that it would never become anything. And at first, I believed them. I actually thought about giving up on my idea. I almost listened to them. But then I realized, what do they really know? This is my idea, I thought. No one knows it like I do, and it's okay if it's different and weird and maybe a little crazy. I decided to protect it, to care for it. I fed it good food. I worked with it. I played with it. But most of all, I gave it my attention. My idea grew and grew, and so did my love for it. I built it a new house, one with an open roof where it could look up at the stars, a place where it could be safe to dream. I liked being with my idea. It made me feel more alive, like I could do anything. It encouraged me to think big and then to think bigger. It shared its secrets with me. It showed me how to walk on my hands. Because, it said, it is good to have the ability to see things differently. I couldn't imagine my life without it. Then, one day, something amazing happened. My idea changed right before my very eyes. It spread its wings, took flight, and burst into the sky. I don't know how to describe it, but it went from being here to being everywhere. It wasn't just a part of me anymore. It was now a part of everything. And then I realized what you do with an idea. You change the world. The end. What a fun story. I just really like that story, and I love the artwork and the pictures. I think the author or the person who wrote the book did a really good job, and I think the illustrator or the person who drew the pictures did a really good job as well. So for next week, I invite you to draw your own picture of what you think an idea would look like. You notice in the book that the idea was an egg with a crown on it, and it changed in some of the pictures, and it grew and it turned into something else. But for most of the book, it was an egg with a crown. How do you think your idea would look if this book was about you? So why don't you get a little creative and draw your own picture of what you think an idea would look like, and you can send it to me this week, and I'll feature it in next week's video, in next week's story time. Well, as we wrap up our time together today, I'd like to end with the singing bowl. I think this is an excellent way for us to end our time together, to check in with how we feel, and for us to make our minds quiet and our bodies quiet as we spend time together. So let's sit crisscross applesauce with our hands in our laps and our bubbles in so we can listen to the singing bowl together. Let's listen. Excellent. Well done. All right, well, that's everything for this week. I hope to see you again when you'll join us next week for our next story. Have a good week. Goodbye.